live when you said that.
And we're live now, boys. Good morning, good evening, and welcome to the 2024 edition of Tuscola Mountaineer Football in the Jonathan Crompton Show. My name's David. If you remember from last year, I'm sure most of you do because you saw me in the grocery stores and you made us feel like $1 million. Surprise guest tonight's going to be Jonathan Crompton, the head coach. He wasn't supposed to be here, but when he found out that this was about the youth league and the middle school, he left the facility and came on down. And we got Coach Ryan Sutton from the middle school that's going to talk middle school football with us. And this empty seat belongs to Leander Dumas, and he'll be here in a minute. And he's going to talk youth league. And can I call you Jonathan?
No, you can't.
Okay, Jonathan. He's the defensive line coach for the Mountaineers.
Address.
So anyway, first show of the year. We're all kind of rushed in our real world tonight. Ryan got here about 3 or 4 minutes ago. I had a crazy day, so I apologize that we didn't have the opening and all the things that we're usually going to have. And before we get started in talking football from the youth league all the way up to the varsity out here in Waynesville, Ryan, I can't thank you. I just want to look at you and tell you I can't thank you enough, you and your family, for sponsoring this show. It's a big deal. It's a big, big deal. And I haven't had a chance to get out and talk to any people, but I'm going to make it my business tomorrow to go out and get some sponsors to go with Sutton & Sons Antique Mall.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I say that properly. It's Antique Mall.
Yeah.
And Crompton's Auto Mart and Service Center. And again, we can't do this without the support because tonight I had to go out and buy 2 more cameras because the ones from last year, technology won't allow us to use them.
Yeah, you probably get a wide angle to fit me in.
So, and we usually don't have 4 in here, but did you text me in, Coach?
I did not.
Okay.
Well, I probably should.
Yeah, you should real quick.
I thought I did. I didn't.
And before we get going, something that we need to talk about, Coach, while you're texting.
What would you call me?
Hey, boy, go mow the lawn. And we need to talk about the fundraiser. Can you talk about that real quick before we start into the youth stuff?
The new text.
Okay. Go ahead.
We'll exchange.
Okay.
We'll exchange jobs. No, our yearly fundraiser, our email fundraiser through Booster Enterprise is done extremely well. Obviously, in year 1, we've done really well this year. If you go on there, all of our kids have brought in emails and have put on social media. It's on my social media. This year it's going to go for the 6-man offensive line sled for the tight end as well. 2-man bull sled, 1-man tackling dummy, O-line shoot, 20-foot agility ladder, 10x10 linebacker DB shoot. Just a bunch of stuff to try to help our program be competitive in the ways that we need to be. So, any donation helps. We greatly appreciate it. We go into better communities around, even in the state. So we're
explain to them how to find it or where to go because it's please. Okay. I just want to make sure
it's on all of our social medias. Anybody that is friends with one of our players or coaches, you can ask for the link. They can send you it via email or text. Like I said, if you go to my social media, you can go to my Facebook page or my Instagram page and find the link. Leander is calling as we speak.
Yeah.
Hey, coaches. I had a few people ask. They were wanting to know what you got
I'm listening to you.
or what Tuscola got last year. Can you give everybody an idea?
What way?
Spent money on last year.
Oh,
What have you got new equipment?
Well, so this year, like I said, what it's going for this year. Last year, it went to new shut that 7 helmets. We travel gear for our kids when we travel, so they don't have to travel in sweaty clothes and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Last year alone,
I'll talk to you later. your defensive line coach,
Yeah.
and our youth league representative is headed to UVA Wise.
Oh, they left right now, didn't they?
And
That's right, 'cause that's cool. Because Brian's he's got move-in day tomorrow morning,
he's
like 8 or 9 in the morning. That's awesome.
So that takes priority, and he apologizes to everyone. But that, to me,
No, that's
that's a big deal.
That's a little bigger.
So if you folks, please help the program. Jonathan is going to be a little more correct than I am. They need the money. Okay? I don't know any other way to say it. They need the money. I know that everybody would look and see what they did last year, but they were digging out of a hole. They need the money. So if you can help businesses, please chip in and help. And so now let's talk middle school football.
Okay.
Coach.
Well, we had a regime change down there at middle school. Chad Haynes had been down there for several years and done a great job. And he'd called me a few years ago and asked me if I could come in. And we started off, and I thought, we had a great team last year and finished great. And he got the call to come up to the JV program. So he left us down there to come to Tuscola. And of course, his son's playing, and I was like, that's a no-brainer. And
on side note, real quick, he's done a tremendous job, and I can see why the middle school program's been so successful for so many years.
Yeah, he's very thorough. And
you guys keep talking. I got to go get something in here. Keep talking.
So anyway, Chad had moved up to Tuscola and taken on a new role up there, and we had Justin Reinhardt come down and head coach at middle school. And I stayed on. We've got Lee Miller, that's been years and years at Lake Junaluska helping out. Eli Woody. You got Nick Cole and Nick Hessel. I hope I said his name right. Helping out. And at the first of the year, I thought we sent all these boys up to Tuscola and had a great group. And I thought we was not going to have the numbers, and we were just worried at first. But once we got started up with our summer workouts and stuff, like right now, we had yesterday 43 boys show up. We've got 2 open lockers in the locker room. Of course, we've lost a couple here and there, but a great turnout, and we've got some good-looking prospects. So everybody's feeling great about the program down there.
So the numbers are good.
Oh yeah, but the thing about it is anybody that's interested in playing middle school football, they can still come out. Oh gosh,
I scared the crap out of me.
I thought a bus was coming through the building. Don't worry, we had a car drive through my building before, so we're used to it.
Where was I at? I got a lot of brain damage from football anyway. So we've had a great turnout, but a lot of kids can still come out into the first week of school. So the 19th, first day of school, I think, when it starts back. So that first week, we can still take on new players, and we want everybody to come out. The guys across the river, they've got several areas feeding them players. All we have is Waynesville Youth and Waynesville Middle School. And we want to see a lot more community support.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you, Jonathan, would like to hear what he just said.
Well, yeah,
that makes you feel good.
It's always a good thing because your middle school program's doing good when, I'm not going to give away our roster, obviously, but when you have options of pulling freshmen up, that's a good thing. That means our middle school program's doing well and being successful. So, last year, Ty Walker started safety as a freshman. I'm not afraid to do that as a coach. My philosophy is to play the best player, and if it is a freshman, then so be it. So that's a good thing, and that shows what our middle school program has been. And that is not because I know a lot of people go, oh, well, it's just because y'all are desperate times, desperate measures. Nope, that ain't how it works. We got a lot of really good ball players up at Tuscola. I promise you that. We got good depth. It's just if the freshmen come in and play better, then they're going to play. and it's that simple. So that's a testament to our middle school program and our youth league program for getting them ready for middle school and then getting them ready for Thursday or Friday nights.
And Matt, Matthew, I know you're watching us. If you text me the numbers or message me or whatever, because I want to make sure that everybody knows we are loaded with kids that are playing in the youth program. We are loaded with kids, and that is and the support from the youth program is unbelievable. I wish I could. I'm trying to get back here because Matt Stevenson is on the board. They've even got their own apparel.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good looking stuff. And I'm going to get with Matt and talk to him about the logo for your show. And we're going to make it pretty neat this year, in spite of your CI.
It's like what Coach was talking about. Last year's money went to get the new shed helmets. You're talking about $450 a piece.
No,
It's cheap.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and yeah.
Well, I'm laughing.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
No.
So like I've said from the day that I got here, our kids will be treated like a college program. Like we just ordered 8 Vices helmets, which are the ones that you see like Tua and Patrick Mahomes wearing. We ordered 8 of those. 6 of them are in. What's his name? George Kittle.
Yes.
I got 2 of those helmets coming. It's the same. It's a Vices, but it's a different model. So we have 2 of those coming. Those things, because we're going to put our kids in the best possible equipment we possibly can.
Oh yeah.
And I could be wrong, but I'd venture to say we're one of the only high schools church grant locally with those helmets.
Oh yeah. We've got 4 or 5 Speed Flex helmets, and they're quite pricey.
Yeah.
Some of the kids have bought their own.
Yeah. And we run into that from time to time where a couple kids will bring their own, and like we told them, you don't have to.
Yeah.
I promise you, we have really, really good stuff. I mean, in the past 14, 15 months, we've bought, off the top of my head, 27 brand new helmets. That's a guesstimate, but that's within a couple plus or minus.
It just don't take long to spend a load of money.
It doesn't, especially when you're trying to get the proper stuff to be safe and have the proper safety measures. We had to buy, so every kid on our team has Guardian caps. We didn't have that prior. Well, had to buy 90 Guardian caps, and those are, what is it? I'm shot in the dark off the top of my head. I don't always have it in front of me. Those are about $28 to $45 a piece, depending on which brand you get.
Yeah.
So stuff like that we needed, we didn't have.
Right.
Try to help for, obviously Guardian caps do not prevent concussions, but they do limit 33% of impact during practice. So we try to take the proper measures and get the proper equipment for our guys. And this year, like I said, it was either 6 or 7 top of my head between sleds and chutes and ladders that we don't have.
Yeah, that's
which is a good thing. Now we're getting, and I say that because that shows how our community support is.
Yeah,
that we're able to do that. All these things that we're able to buy right now, I'll be honest with you, to me was a 5-year plan, and we were able to do it in 14 months.
Yeah,
like that's there's something to be said for that.
Oh yeah.
So that, like I said, I had a vision of, I already knew what I wanted to get for our program and stuff, but being able to do it in 14 months is a lot better than saying, okay, well, we got to pick and choose over a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
So let me kind of keep moving you guys, and again, we are not going to skip over how excited we are about our youth league program. I want to make sure, and again, I can't fault Leander. It happened pretty quick, but the numbers are fantastic, and there's really good ball players down there, and that bodes well for the future. So, talk to me, Jonathan and Ryan, about some of the changes that happened now on the JV program that came from that you kind of initiated from the middle school, that you kind of said, hey, let's go in this direction.
And what way for staff?
The staff.
Oh yeah, well, obviously, Coach.
I'm not going to ask you about any ball players, and you'll learn, Ryan. He's like the CIA.
Yeah, I gave away some information earlier.
Well, here's It
We
ain't
done got
gonna be the same. When have you ever heard a good coach give away
That's
secrets?
it. So anyway, let's
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give away. I'm not dumb. I know people watch the show. I'm not gonna give away our stuff because the reality is that's why you game plan.
that's it. So
Well,
let's
no,
talk.
man. Just but obviously, Coach Chad Haynes is there from the middle school.
Really good. I think just a fantastic
Yeah.
move. Fantastic move.
Coach Zach Gibson, who used to be the head coach at Owen, is our varsity O-line coach, but he'll be calling the plays on JV.
Another fantastic move.
And then we've added, sorry to add Branson. He's down there.
Branson.
Branson's my guy. Branson's my guy. He knows it. And then we brought back
Branson Reese. Let me tell you, he is the epitome of what this is.
Yep.
And
then we brought back Brent Rathbone to coach JVO.
Great move. Great move. And I think it was, last year was a good learning thing for him.
Yep.
And now he's back where he, and I think
So it's a little shuffling, but not shuffling if you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So the guys that are on Thursdays, like I told them the other day, we're one big team. You just can't play on the same day. That's all it is. It doesn't matter if you're 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. We're one big team. It's just playing on 2 different days. So I speak to them before practice together and speak to them at the end together. So they hear the same voice in that sense. But then they're not shuffling around who's with who, blah, blah, blah. They have it's their coach. It's not, well, I got to go here. I got to go here.
But it's in the framework of
Yeah.
your system.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, obviously everything's different. We do things a little different than a lot of places. We actually game plan week to week, meaning not that I'm not saying that people don't. I'm saying we don't run the exact same play out of the exact same formation 4 weeks in a row. So but the JV guys, the JV kids are getting to learn that, which is good. And that's in a positive way. They're getting to learn football now in a different manner than they have to now mold those two together.
Outstanding. I just think that's just I have, I don't think a lot of people have seen what you guys practice, and I snuck off and went to told the guys I was going, Uncle Frankie.
They didn't believe.
I said I'm going up to the bank for
Yeah, they didn't.
but I left with no money and no bank book. And snuck over and watched you guys for about 15 minutes. And the most impressive thing that I saw, and Ryan, I think that this is something that just the football people will understand, was number one, the numbers are really, the numbers out there between the varsity and the JV are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you had to build extra lockers in the locker room this year that you but the JV kids were being coached just as detailed, as hard, and as what you guys are doing on Friday night.
Yeah,
and I was so impressed,
which is good because
I was so impressed with that.
Which is a good thing because it is a refreshing thing from my standpoint to know that it's what's being fully taught. Last year was, obviously get hired late in the year and things were behind the 8 ball and all that. So it was very nice to be able to make the hires that I made this offseason to help the future of our program and the way that I wanted it to go, rather than just having to go with it at the moment.
And that goes back.
So that's where I'm excited because, and I didn't mean to forget. So Coach Trevor Receiver, he's our receiver coach on JV and varsity and special teams coordinator. And that's one of the better hires that I've got to make recently. And the funny part is, you want the truth? You know where I got him?
Look at the camera.
No, it's not about that. You know where I got him? Coach Brett Chapman. Brett called me and said, you need to hire this guy. So I interviewed him, and he is tremendous with our varsity receivers and our JV receivers. Our JV receivers went from day one, and I'm not going to say how many, but every day he's counted the drops in individual period. And every day they've gotten astronomically better to where today there was 0. It's getting better because they're learning, they're understanding what to do, how to hold their hands when they're running certain routes, those things. So having Coach Trevor around has been phenomenal. I didn't mean to forget him a minute ago when we were talking about the staff. Yeah, but that also goes into the respect of coaching, no matter where you're at. does not matter, rivalry, non-rivalry, blah blah blah. There's a respect factor among coaches in the profession. And when Brett calls me and goes, "Hey, if I were staying local, I wouldn't call you. He would be with me." That goes a long way because it's called like it is. Brett was successful where he was at.
Fair.
And that's okay. But the reality is, those tides have turned.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Call a spade here. So
And
that's where I do have that respect for him. He has that respect for me.
Yeah.
And I'm glad and thankful he called me about Trevor. So now Trevor, as I told him, is on the good side now.
Yeah.
And a little funny joke. I won't say the kids' names. Not joke, funny humor here. I won't say the kids' names, but they went up to him and was like, hey, coach. I said, "What's up, guys?" He goes, "How did it feel to go on the field and know you're getting your bleep kicked last year?" But then it was fucking. You got to meet Trevor. He started laughing. He's like, well, we're on the same team now, thank God. Being funny.
Yeah.
But that's where the rivalry does come into play, and it is fun.
Yeah.
Because the kids can enjoy that because it's a small town community, small town rivalry. But I'm saying all that to say that even with Coach Trevor being on that side last year, he is 100% bought into what we've done, bought into our kids, bought into our culture, our mindset, and our kids have 100% bought into him too.
And we would the Austins.
Yep.
Man, those are my two guys,
Mm-hmm.
Coach Sluter and Coach Chambers. And man, did Coach Chambers grew last year.
Mm-hmm.
And love to watch his passion. Love to watch Coach Sluter's passion. Had got to talk to him for a few minutes the other day, and he's a good he's a good girl dad.
Yep.
That's pretty cool to be a really good girl dad. So the staff is the staff is good.
I'm pleased with where we're at,
and
more like
change.
that. I'm more excited about watching the evolution of our program.
And it's
more
not
this
just,
year than last year. And that's not to do with the players.
Yeah.
That has to do with the staff of understanding what we're wanting from a culture standpoint, from a philosophy standpoint, is a lot more understood this year. And it's always going to be that way in year 2. And then year 3 is a little more. Year 4, obviously, it grows as you go. But that's
and some more changes I need to talk about since Leander's given us room to talk about other things since he's not here. ESPN Asheville, FM 92.9, AM 1400 in Waynesville, and AM 880, which is in Asheville, but if you're out, you still get the reach. Is Chris Kelly, one of the premier, and Brian Hall is my friend. When Brian, Brian caught your very first game. But Chris is going to be our the voice of the Mountaineers. And Chris, his experience is off the chart. I can see his bio, and we're going to have Chris is going to be here. We're going to do a show and bring Chris in preseason and do just a show talking about the radio broadcast, what people can expect. The pregame, the postgame, if they're going to do anything like call you during the week and have a 5-minute little thing with you, or however they want to do that. And then Terry Shin, one of the now Terry is like a 40-something year veteran. Well, really more than that. He started his career in 1969. He's going to be the color guy. He's from up in Indiana, and he's going to be the color guy. He did UNCA basketball. He did Pisgah football for a while. You know Terry.
Yeah.
And they are excited to be part of this program, part of this community, part of the Mountaineer Nation. And the beauty of what we have is because of the FM that's and because of the reach of our AM here in Waynesville, but the AM out of Asheville, we've got a bigger reach than Brian and those guys got at WWNC. We've got the biggest radio network in Western North Carolina. And these guys are excited. They're good. They're excited to work with you. And it's a really good thing. I think that well, they're really happy to be part of the nation, or not even, I don't want to call it just
Community.
the community.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about another change. I like your helmet.
Mhm.
I love your helmet. Now, the people that are looking at that helmet need to understand that that number is going to be bigger. Your numbers for the kids are going to be like a half inch.
Yeah.
They're going to be bigger, but it's a different design. I know for a fact that you put so much thought and worry in so many designs that you guys went over and you went over before, because you giving up that power tee, it had to be something pretty special.
Well, I'm not giving up on Power T, obviously.
No, I mean
just on the helmet.
Yeah, the helmet.
I just wanted to, new look. Why not? I mean, bottom line is, I think it looks good. I think I like the 3-stripe look, which technically it looks like 5, but it's 3. And then obviously the kids have their numbers be branded on the side. Last year I did it on the back. I knew last year was going to be temporary because of the short term we had to get things going, as far as how I was going to do the helmet. So I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. I think it looks good. I went with obviously a couple different models, but ultimately settled on the white with our yellow.
And that is the school color.
Yep. So I went with obviously that, and I think that looks good. Where now, obviously, you can't get it confused with Tennessee.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you're not going to let no one's going to see the uniforms. We got new uniforms, and kids today. Look, when I played, Ryan, when you played, we acted like we did, but we wanted the best looking uniform.
Oh yeah,
and we wanted to walk out there and look good and feel good.
Yeah,
look good, feel good, play good.
And how many combinations do you?
Well, it's just a home and away uniform.
Yeah, it's a home and away uniform.
But there are technically other combinations you can do.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Yeah, because they're good looking.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
They are gorgeous, and I think people are going to like it. And I'm just
Our players do so.
oh yeah,
yeah, and that's all that matters. And any housekeeping things you need before we get going, and we're going to have a big preseason special with you guys here next week before things really get rolling. But anything you want to talk about? Anything, Ryan, you want to talk about?
I just want to. I just want to say that we're going to. Let's see.
You do
look
what
on
you
here
do.
and see. Let's see. 22nd, we got our scrimmage. If you guys want to come out,
We're at.
let's see. It'll be over at. It's at Beth. It did a little change in who we're going to play or who we're going to scrimmage, but it's at Beth Field.
What time?
And it'll be 5. Let's see, 5 o'clock. The fifth quarter will start at 4:30.
Because that
on Thursday. And a lot of times you can catch.
Because that's our Asheville JV night. Otherwise, I would be able to make it.
Right. But a lot of times we can coincide with Tuscola. And if you come out to watch, you can get a doubleheader. Come early, 4:30 or right at 5. And we'll play our game. And then the Tuscola JVs will start right afterwards.
So there's no more Wednesday like when you were
No, it's
coaching the middle school team.
Yeah, Thursday at 5 o'clock. So that way, if we got it to coincide there, we can get a doubleheader in. Yeah. It should be fun to watch. We got a lot of changes too this year. So
we'll talk about it.
Different. Well, stuff like he was talking about.
Oh,
really talking
okay.
about
That's
it.
fine.
Come on, man. You're part of the media now, dude. Come on, man.
Well, we run the wing, and our offense was, it was a ground pound. That's the way it's been.
3 yards and cloud of dust wins a lot of ball games.
3 yards and cloud of dust.
Wins a lot of ball games.
A lot of.
I don't care what anybody says.
And it worked great for us. We got a little different something going this year.
Uh-oh.
That's it. Yeah. It's the difference.
And Jonathan, I know that I don't know, the things are popping in my head because, again, I'm never going to be upset with Leander because he is the dude. But he gave us a lot of airtime here. He knows. just the things that I see that I know they have to win ball games, but the other things that on top of that is, man, I don't get up there much because I'm just trying to survive down here every day. But I went up there and I think I took you something the other day, and I was so impressed. You can eat off the floor of your guys' locker room.
Well, yeah, we
You
have
can literally eat off the floor,
we have a standard.
and I think that was so. I was very impressed.
Cleanliness is part of it. Up downs are a phenomenal bargaining chip.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I promise you, it doesn't matter how old or young you are, you don't like going up there.
Like burpees.
Yeah, and so, but no, our kids have done it. They've done a good job taking pride in what we have, because that's, once again, that goes along with our standard that we preach to them every day. Same thing in the weight room. The weight room will be cleaner than we went in there, even though we're about to work our butt off. Part of it. I think that goes a lot farther in life than just football. So that's we preach that stuff to them every day, and our kids have done a tremendous job with that. You know, just a lot of laundry. Say it that way.
Yeah. Our locker room's more like a medieval dungeon with dripping ceilings.
That's a very accurate. No,
But
that is
it's
a
got a
very
great-
accurate statement.
It's got a great homey feel.
If that's what
Crickets.
Yeah, I mean, we call it that. But no, that is an accurate statement.
Yeah.
100%.
But there's a lot of tradition there. You know, I know the locker I sat in when I was down there, and back to the youth and stuff. And that's what I'll say again. If you have kids that are on the fence and maybe they don't like me or one of the other coaches or whatever, that's beside the point. Football for me, I was a kid that would not have done anything in school, and I'd have been in trouble a lot because I like to be kind of rambunctious. And football gave me, like Leander, I met him. He was a senior when I was a 10th grader. Branson, I played with those guys. It gives you connection to all these people in school. So when you walk down the hall, you know, you see these guys, you know, and you end up making lifelong connections. My buddy Chad Land, we used to kill it on Friday night, and he's building my barn dominium right now. And foxhole friends, what I say, back-to-back guys that are always there in a fight. We met them on the football field, you know. So these kids that are on the fence of whether they want to come out or not, come out. You got till the first week of school, and you'll have a ball. It's a lot of work, but you make lifelong friendships. It's a real bond that you have, and then your grades. You know, I know Doug Brooks. You know, you had to be on that C+ side, or he liked the hills. You know, you run the hills, but it just it helps out growing up, and it makes youth ball to middle school to Tuscola. It's a rite of passage, and it takes young men without direction and makes men out of them eventually. I hope so.
No, it does. That's really well said. Really, really well said. So, North Buncombe. When are we going to North Buncombe?
August 16th.
Okay, because that's all we need. That's about it, right? So August the 16th, because the Chris was just asking, and August the 16th, and we'll start our regular shows next week. Man, I can't believe that it's already here, and the heat has been oppressive. The humidity has been oppressive.
A little bit.
Today's practice was nice. Yeah.
It was cooler today, but
We used
not
to
for
go.
long.
Hefner used to call it the hawk. The hawk was out when it was just sun beating down. So luckily today it was nice.
So the bottom line is, we're going to talk Tuscola Mountaineer football all season long, but we're going to make sure that we talk. We're going to update everybody every week on what our middle school team is doing, win, lose, or draw. And winning is, look, we all like to win, but again, at the end of the day, are we getting better? And we're going to, and I know that we will. we're gonna update everybody on middle school every week. We're gonna update everybody on the youth league every week because these kids they are coming, and there's a lot to look forward to on the football field here in Waynesville. So, guys, we're going to get out of here tonight. We've been on for about 35 minutes. Leander, I'm coming to get you, man. I'm coming to get you, baby. But no, man, taking him up there, and he's going to do well. Bryant is going to do well at UVA Wise, and they're going to have to do something to keep him off the field because the kid can play.
Yep.
And I know I shouldn't say that. Man, I would have loved him to be in your system for 2 or 3 years because he's an ACC guy. So that's just me. But anyway, thank you. Support the fundraiser, please, please, please support the fundraiser, and we'll be back next week. And Ryan, thank you, my friend. We appreciate it. Thank you for sponsoring.
Glad to be here.
And we are excited for 2024.
Absolutely.
That's it. TFL. Oh, all you people asking about the TFL shirts, we'll have a new batch. It might take a couple of weeks, but we'll get a new batch of those Tuscola for Life shirts, okay? So, Jonathan, can you do it? Because I can't see. Why are you going so slow? See you guys. See you this week.